ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Twisted Koi. How are we doing out there, cupcakes? And you, Chaz Koi, I see you. Go over and check Chaz Koi out. Cracking little channel. Give him some love. Tell him the Twisted One sent ya. Oh hell, I'm seriously happy at the moment out in the front garden because the patio is finally finished. Woohoo! Susan is overjoyed. And while I was out shopping at Morrison's yesterday, I picked her up some lobelias for the plant beds as well. So keep her sweet. You know how it is. So yeah, let me spin you around. Right, as you can see, my balls have had a bloody good trim and a bit of a shape up. Put some wires and stuff in. I mean, my boy did ask me, how much taller are you going to make it, Dad? And I want it to sit just below the canopy here, hence why this one is sticking out like a little Red Indian's feather. So, yep, that's looking good. But the patio is in, and it's solid. And I know they're the right size, but they were slightly different, as in the ones that we recycled have got like had a rounded edge, whereas these two new ones have got a sharp edge, which is why we got a very thin gap there. But I'm chuffed to bits for that. I am really, really proud of myself. So yeah, last thing to do is I've got to get a bit of broken up slab laid along the front here to make that a step, but I can't do that until I've lifted that piece of grass up, and I've got to raise the level on this side slightly because it slopes downwards, and when it pisses down with rain you end up with a puddle there. So what we want to do is lift that up, get some sand in there and level it out, and then we can put the edging around the front on there. I got the brickwork in for the barbecue area, and at the moment I'm still in two minds whether to actually build one out of brick and broken slab and put some trays and stuff in, or just buy one that stands there with a lift up and down lid or whatever. I don't know, but that's going to be the baseline for it. I'm not sure if I'm going to put some slab over it or what I'm going to do yet, but that's where the barbecue's going to go. And let's say we got 2 packs of mixed lobelia and one that is blue for her to dot about in between everywhere. This is going to be the next pom-pom tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some wires in, get it to where I want them to be, and then we'll start cutting and trimming that one. Probably won't start the actual shaping until next year. Just want it to start to take the shape that I want it to start off with. Finally got the top of the eucalyptus cut, and I've also trimmed the top of the Virginia creeper, and is going apeshit along the fence, which is what I wanted, because once that starts intertwining with the jasmine, I'm going to have a real nice bush type thing there that will also give us a little bit of a privacy thing out here in the front garden. Susan wants to put a plum tree in this one in the middle, and then obviously some little plants around it, and ones that will come through the wall like what we've got over here. And this one here throws out beautiful little flowers, but it's now started to spread and creep out up the top here, which is also just nice intermingling of colour, a bit like what our Graham's got there in his planters. And this one here, 90% of the soil that's in this came from over the front garden or the back garden. So yeah, that's where we're at in the front garden, and my arm is burning already. So we're going to go out the back because Gonna relocate fry, and gonna use a test kit for the first time. Not that I've never used a test kit, but it's a Colombo test kit I was given yesterday by my best mate Brad, because his fish tank and that's gone now, so he don't need it. So he gave it to me, and I thought, well, I've never tried this one before, and everyone raves about it, so we'll give it a whirl. So we got that to do out the back. So yeah, I shall pick you back up in the back garden, guys. Cupcakes, it's warm in here today. It's 30.5 degrees, and the tank itself is sitting at 21.9 without the heater going. So yeah, he's toasty in here. Look at that my hat. So yeah, let's spin you around. Zoom you out, and as you can see, these are all doing hunky-dory now. So give them a bit of nosh. Everything's running fine on the filter system here. Mind you, I am getting a burst of algae on the bottom of this Tempest, and that, believe it or not, is not from that light. That is because of the angle that the sun comes through and catches the Tempest. Because if you look, I've got it coming straight across the top of my bio bin as well. So yeah, but they're doing alright. Going to give this a try in a bit as well. In fact, I'm just waiting for the main man himself to pop in for a cup of tea. These in here are doing grand. Only two left in here to move on. The Shisui and the Kin Matsuba. But the plan is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a load of major scrapes in there, and hopefully I'll find nothing. And then what I'll do is I'll leave it a week. I'll do another load of scrapes and there'll be nothing. And then what will happen is the ones that I'm going to keep will end up going into the main pond, and the ones that I am going to move on will go into the tow side tank. And the reason for that is, and I know a lot of you out there are going to scream at me, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Well, what I am going to do is I'm going to empty said fish tank in there, and I'm going to empty that said fish tank into there. Now that the water started to clear up, you can see that we have fish in there that are still weeny, and there is smaller ones than that in there. So what that tells me is that I can put some more in there. And the thing is, as much as I love my koi, there's 278 in there. Well, there was 278 in there. I've taken some out that, in fact, I've taken 3 carcasses out. This is what I mean, look. Look at that tiny weeny one there. Yeah. And then when you come down here, a lot of these aren't far off it. We've got a nice big Toby there, right by the airstone, if I can focus. There he's gone. And like we said, there's about 1,000 in there. Oh my word, look. Look. Cannibalism at its finest. And I'm totally aware that that is happening, and they're getting fed fucking loads, just like they are over there. So what I've done is I've actually split down the foods, so I've got crumb and that. And to be honest, I'm running that air pump on that fish tank when that could go on the growing on tank with the 70, and push that better like I want until I can get a bigger pump, and then the 10 that's in there can then come on here and put the extra air and oxygen into there. So that is the plan, but I am gonna look through them and that as we go. I mean, some of these in here are just outstanding. Let me see if I can as you can see, patterns are starting to form now. So that one there, the orange and white one, that will become goshki. And these yellowy, orangey and black ones, they are the goshki cross Deutsch Kajaku. And Deutsch Kajaku, fucking hell, Vincent, you dickhead. The red Kajaku, should I say. But yeah, that's just a little scoop. And as you can see, look, weeny ones in there as well that are surviving. We had a little, I had a little net about with me mum yesterday, and there was one that was in the net, and she instantly fell in love with it, and I was like, I ain't gonna find that fucker again. But we are getting some white ones as well. Now, I would say that the white ones are either coming from the goshki or the kajaku. And this one, I would say, is from the goshki. So if that little bit of orange on his head and the tiny little bit on his tail disappears, that'll be a lovely little Matsuba. So yeah, that's the plans there. And like I say, these are loving life at the moment. Hungry as hell. Went through a whole packet of crab sticks yesterday and the day before, and that's on top of all the mealworms and everything else they get. And like I say, pond is looking fucking awesome, to be totally honest. I'm just gutted that that's fucking happened. But sat up chatting with Ma and Pa yesterday, and like I said, I've had a couple of people, I've had quite a few people actually offer me temporary pools, and I even had Skegster offered to give me the butyl liner that is going to be for his main pond when he rebuilds it. And I said, mate, thank you very much for the for doing it. I mean, it just blew me away. I said, but at the end of the day, you know, you've got to keep that for yourself. So it is literally a case of, I'm just going to put a little bit aside every time I've got a little bit spare, and then once I'm ready, I'll smash it out. And it will be smashed out, because I don't want these in a temporary pool for very long at all, if I can help it. So that's the plan there. Oh, and it's Thursday. We've got gases live tonight as well anyway. So I'm waiting for Jose to turn up to take some bits, and then I'm going to start moving some fish about, and then we'll pick it back up. Cold 45 and 2 zigzags. Well, that's the fish tank empty. I've taken a chunk of water out the IBC tank, and I put fish tank water in there. We're going to lift this up and have a look at these. I'm not going to count them, because it took me fucking forever, and I know there's going to be some natural selection going on in there. So be it, because there's thousands in there still, and I've got hundreds in there still. So yeah, and if I'm to follow Susan's ideas and plans, I need this area clear so I can start sorting that out as well. But before I pick this up, spin you around, I'll show you what I mean. There is the multitude of sizes in there, and I mean, there is a multitude, and they range from what looks like the next stage up from little eyelashes, like this little one over here. Let me see if I can find one for you. See the tiny weeny one, see it down there? Really literally just looks like, exactly like I picked it up. Little 2 eyes and a tail. And yet, you look at others, and a lot of them in here are now around the same size as the smallest one in the IBC tank. And even though those little filters and the 2 bags of carbon and zeolite have done the job, because when you look, there's not really a lot of shit in the bottom of there either, so it was doing a good enough job in that respect, but it won't be doing as good a job as that is up there. I mean, the plants really have taken off now. That lily stump's got to come out and go into my lily basket, but as you can see, these calla lilies are really starting to erupt now. Cordata's starting to pick up. Time to change my fines floss. That gets done a bit later. But yeah, there's a variation of sizes in here anyway, so let me put you down a second and then we'll get the bowl over. So yeah, what we'll do, or what I will do, is I will go... Oh, hang on. Don't want that sucker going in there. Look at them. There's thousands in there. Don't get your thumb out the way, you dickhead. Yeah, as you can see, there's variations of colour, size, shape. Got a little bit of sediment there. I mean, look at that big one there. He's showing pattern already. See if I can be clever about this. You do that. You do that. Oh, yep, yep. There we go. Showing a lovely little pattern underneath there. Beautiful. So yeah. And with the last few, oh, bucket. It's right by the drain there anyway. Yep. So well, that's that clean. I'll leave them for a minute. Look, all up round the sides already. It's like we've gone back in time a couple of weeks. So yeah. Fuck knows what happened there. So yeah, that's then moved over. Now I don't think I'm going to get it done today because we're going to be live in about an hour on the GKP, but I've got to take that down. In fact, I could probably do that while I'm on the GKP actually, is I've got to take this apart and give it a little bit of an oil because it's a bit noisy. But the plan is to take that one and replace it with this one, which will then give me an even better flow on there. And like I say, these are looking absolutely wicked now. I'm just gutted about the losses, but like I said before, we're dealing with livestock, and livestock is fucking unpredictable. But these aren't now. They're as predictable as clockwork. As soon as that food goes in, I mean, I didn't manage to use the Colombo test kit. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll probably do that as a separate visit because my man and little bro Brad came round and we had an hour's chit chat, hour or two's chit chat with a cup of tea and that. Not seen each other for a good while, so had a little catch up and whatnot. So yeah, so I didn't get as much done as I'd hoped, but I did get them moved over. So that's the main thing for me at the moment. Just trying to consolidate things. It is a damn shame that I couldn't take those out of the growing on tank, put them in the pond and the tow-side tank and that straight away, but I can't because I've still got to make sure that they are clear of any fucking parasites. You know, if I moved them out there without leaving it a week or two and then doing some more checks, I'd be fucking mad. But that aside, if I didn't have to do that, what I would have done is I would have had the bigger ones out of here and put them in there. But I've also got a lot, so it's going to come to a point where I'm going to have too many. So yeah, if I get a little bit of natural selection, I get a little bit of natural selection. I expect it. So yeah. But anyway, on that note, guys, that's it for Thursday. So as always, ow, that's my tit. As always, folks, I'm a Twisted Koi. You lot out there are always great, and I will catch you tonight, or I'll catch you at the weekend.
That's all, cupcakes.